Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome one, welcome all to your Wednesday night Formula One entertainment here at CRF1. And we're here in the beautiful Losail International Circuit here in Qatar for round 4 of season 11. And if you have been following us this season, well, we've had 3 incredible races. I know I say this every week about what an incredible race we had the week before, but it's true. It really is true. It's been absolutely fantastic so far. And, well, what have we got here? Under the lights in the desert. Nice dry qualifying, and I know that sounds expected in the desert in Qatar, but there have been times in previous game iterations that we've actually managed to have intermediate running in qualifying here. Not sure how, but we have done. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. Right, so we have got qualifying here around this very fast circuit. 16 corners around this Qatar circuit, and it is very quick indeed. The slowest corner is probably the hairpin, around turn, I think it is 7, I do believe, and yeah, that is probably about 3rd gear, which will be, turn 6 it is, where Innate has just gone around so far on his out lap. Then everything else is about 4th, 5th, 6th gear corner, very tricky here. You've got to put the car in the right areas, carry as much speed as possible, but there are a few little bumps around the track, so you've got to be careful. Track limits massive around this circuit because of the speed you're carrying. You've got to really keep your focus. We will have 29 laps after this qualifying session. A lot of drivers already out on track. Good evening, Vital Defiance. Good evening, Snake, or JJ, as you've given me your full name, which is do appreciate it. So, of course, Snake won last time out in Imola, ahead of our championship leader and reigning champion, Liquid Gas. Innate, who we're on board with now, 3rd. He finished with Grimmo and Monster just behind with a race-long battle that they had. Quite a few stories from last week. We had a few DNFs, 4 DNFs actually, unfortunately, last week. We had Thomas, who is definitely in the hunt and needs to be pushing forward for his championship battle. He DNF'd, unfortunately. YNWA, who's currently on an outlap, he had a big collision. Very strange one. Hit Jack as he was trying to force an overtake down the DRS start-finish straight. He was out, Mike and Silent Hunter as well, the other DNFs last week. They are going to be looking for redemption around this circuit. As they just took too much inside curves and invalidated his first lap, and that's something that I mentioned, that it is easy to do. Monster, I mentioned that he was battling with Grimmo last time, and on his first flying lap, he seems to be behind him once again. These two cannot be separated. Blood damn it, yeah, you're on holiday, mate. I mean, enjoy yourself, my friend. Enjoy it, Jay, because, well, I hope you're somewhere nice. I hope you're somewhere nice and sunny and enjoying the racing as well. So, thank you for joining us. That's absolutely incredible. Okay, fair enough. The Discord with all the drivers are in their party chat. It sounds a bit chaotic this evening. YNWA with a 21.8, so he sets the benchmark time so far. He's definitely going to be looking for redemption after last time out, and we've seen already this season the pace that he has, and he's definitely going to be looking to put it to good use, as we've got the drivers coming through the final sector now. Monster still behind Grimmo, but this is actually going to help Monster. He's getting a little bit of a tow, but also with that, he's going to have the dirty air, so he can learn a little bit of how the car, just like that, can behave. And there's the DRS is going to be wide open down the start finish. It's a 23.1, just over a tenth and a half behind what Grimmo's just managed. So good laps from both of them. Where's Liquid Gas? There he is on his first flying, gone with a different helmet, full purple for him this evening. And in the McLarens, and if you've seen the footage, of course, we have the British Grand Prix coming up this weekend in real life. And has anybody seen the McLaren livery yet? The chrome livery that they're using this weekend? I'm not gonna lie, I am an absolute fanboy of that livery. It looks gorgeous. I mean, they do a lot of fantastic liveries, do the McLarens, and they've pulled it out the bag, I think, once again this weekend. Hopefully, it'll blind the opposition, and Norris, I'm British, I've got to be biased, but hopefully Norris can get back-to-back victories from what he accomplished last weekend in Austria. Let's have a look at Jay. He's coming to finish his lap, get a nice little tour down the start-finish straight from Williams, and he puts it into third place. So, well, we've got a little bit, there's a lot of drivers out on track, but I'm going to quickly go through the drivers' standings because, well, it's opened up a little bit. Liquid Gas has increased his margin. He has now got 23 points to Jay, who's in second, who has 8 points ahead of Blood Diamond, unfortunately missing this evening, but Grimmo level on points with him, 1 point ahead of Thomas, who's on 42. Dean, who is missing again, unfortunately, this weekend. He there is in 6th with YNWA as well. Voxy just behind on 37, so he is only 4 points behind Dean and WA. And then we got Innate and Monster. Good strong races from them last week. They wanted to capitalise on that. Then in the Constructors, McLaren healthy lead so far, 106 points to Aston Martin on 78, who are tied once again with the Ferraris. They're only 6 points ahead of the Alpines, so Snake and Innate looking for another strong result to haul themselves back into and potentially into second in the championship already. Haas not far behind, they're only 6 points behind in fifth, 16 points with the Williams, only 2 points behind that, and the Mercedes close again, only 7 points further back. So there is a lot to play for once again in accordance with the standings. Let's have a look at Trem. He is just starting a flying lap, and this is one of those tracks because it's so quick. The ERS, I should say, it's difficult to recharge around here. There's not a lot of heavy braking zones. Mainly turn 6 is the heaviest, maybe turn 7, second heaviest point. So it's a different one. Ooh, Aim. Oh, welcome, Aim. You're new, so unfortunately she's has retired, but a great lap already on a 22.3. I think that might have been in the pit lane. So, I mean, she'll save tyres. I hope it is a female. I hope it is, and if I haven't, I do apologise for that. It's just the way it came across on her Discord, the Discord profile. But hopefully she's watching and will tell me different. Well, let's have a look at Trem, because he's not having a bad season, to be fair. He had a lot of bad luck last time out on F1 24. Didn't really suit him as much as he would have liked, but he seems to be getting the grips a little bit more, got a little bit more pace on F1 25. Of course, different driving style is suited, and I'll be perfectly honest, it does not suit me at this moment. I love the game. I love the handling. Ooh, Trem's used all of his deployment. That's going to really hamper him on this push towards the line. He's going to lose quite a lot of time on this first run for him. It's a 24-1, so a lot more time there for him. Definitely into the 23s, but it's a good lap from YMCA currently, who has got 5/10 advantage over Abe, with Snake a few tenths further back. Now the driver's starting to use some medium tyres. Thomas is on his out lap. Liquid Gas is on another lap. He likes to do a couple of laps, but he is now just cooling them down, maybe on an in lap. We will wait and see. Medium tyres do get used a bit in here in qualifying, but this track is an absolute killer, especially on the left hand side tyres. The high speeds that we have around here, a lot of right hand corners, and especially the high speeds, they can cook very easily. They can get very, very worn, so it's going to be a battle of nutrition, I think, around this track this evening for the 29 laps that we have. There is a chance of safety cars because there are a couple of walls that are a little bit close around here, and then it comes down to setups. Drivers try to get a lower downforce setup as much as possible to have the straight line speed that they need, but then you've got to balance it with the throttle application, with the cornering as well, potentially the understeer that is apparent in this F125 rendition. And so it's just that balance, and then can they hang on in this part of the second sector, get the car turned, get the power down without the rear sliding too much. Thomas is looking very neat and tidy so far on his lap, and this is one of the corners that's very, very tricky to get right, to carry the speed through in the second sector, turn 10 and through turn 11, and then it's all about positioning car through 12 through 13 and 14. 14 just a little bit tighter than the preceding corners, and then another difficult one of 15 before the final short braking point for turn 16. Quite a wide corner, but easy to lose the rear. We saw Monster have a little bit of a slide on his run, but what can he do? Thomas there, that's a really good lap on 22. Liquid Gas has actually got the hard, so he's gone with a different tyre setup than those around him. Please do get involved in the chat. As in 8 now just pips YMCA to provisional pole by 1,300,000 of a second, so great lap from him. Monster on a lap. We'll leave Monster to see where he is. Grimmo slightly only a 10th down. He's on the mediums, but he has invalidated, so that is one for him that he will leave. Let's have a look at Scott's Warrior on his lap, a 10th up, a little bit wide through there, using some of his overtake to get back up to speed. Through the tricky final sector again, easy to run wide, and we've seen and we know that the dirty air in this game is more apparent than it ever has been, so this is one that the drivers are really going to have to watch for if they're following quite closely to a car ahead. Once they get within about a second or so, to a second and a half, that is where the dirty air seems to kick in, and it's 10th, a little bit of improvement there for Scott's Warrior. So good lap from him. Liquid Gas on the hard tyres, so we'll leave him be. But tell you what, let's get a ride on board with last week's winner. Jay is going down the finish straight with the DRS. There it is, wide open on the Alpine, reaching nearly just clipped 200 mile an hour turn 1. Long corner, trying to carry as much speed as possible through there. Same with turn 2, hooks it up nice in the apex. Slight downshift to get the car rotated and keep the drive, keep the momentum going. The kink of turn 3. Easy to eat, still losing through there late into turn 4, using all of the curb and a little bit more, a little bit of understeer in this Alpine at the moment. Turn 5, nicely done, lines you up for turn 6. Get that car rotated, get it straight as soon as possible. Power down, up to turn 7. Long corner, just wait for the car, wait to see the exit so you can power down. The kink of turn 8 sets you up for the turn 9. Don't want too wide because this is the long, difficult turn 10. Hits the apex absolutely gloriously through there. That was very nicely done. A lot of battery left as well for Snake so far on this lap. Then the flat out. Turn 12, turn 13. Take as much curb as you dare. Oh, took too much. Through 14. And that's his lap invalidated. He will have time to go again though. He may decide that he is going to pit this lap. Let's have a look at Liquid Gas. He's actually up on those hard tyres. Wow, that's a heck of a first sector for Jack. And Jack is pretty good around these fast flowing circuits. He likes the car that just behaves itself, and he likes to carry as much speed as he possibly can into an apex of a corner, and tracks like this should suit him, but because of the nature of the circuit it can be quite difficult to overtake because it is only the one DRS, so we're expecting, well, I'll say a few overtakes, but it's quite a long start-finish straight, this one. Jack now coming to the end of his lap. Oh, nearly runs wide, just keeps it in the lines. He's got the last bit of his battery, and he does improve on a 22.6. That's a great lap on the hard compound tyres. Top 4, I do believe, will be starting on their qualifying tyres. Roxy on track, coming to the end of his run, but he's housing, so he's going to go again. Just had 2 warm-up laps to get his tyres in the window where he wants them to be. Good evening, Mr. Mond. Not a bad quality so far from you. Time for one more lap, I believe. Silent on turn and out lap. Pretty quiet on track at the moment. There's people just now gearing up for their final runs. I'm sure it's going to be a big flurry within the next minute or so. You want to leave about 2.5 minutes or so to do your out lap, just so that you have chance to get the tyres into that working window, but not take too much life out of them, because that is going to be key. Quite a bumpy circuit. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed there with the camera angle that we saw a few bumps down the start-finish straight there. So it's going to be a difficult one. He's not using his build on that lap has Bradders, who is close to having a lap time. Let's have a look at Vexman actually, because Vexman, another gentleman there that is definitely showing a lot of pace so far. Again, some of the races not going according to how he would like, but nonetheless a battler and a fighter to the end. And then you can see, watch we at this angle down the left hand side of the track, you'll see the curves, the bumps there down the start finish straight, really unsettling for the drivers. The car will bottom out a little bit, which again makes you sort of want to up the ride height round here, but don't forget, ride height changes the centre of gravity. That's going to make it difficult to, or more difficult I should say, to handle. You want enough ride height to ride the curbs onto it, but they're not high curbs at all. So it's one of those that balance again has got to be fine, because if you get that car bottoming out, it's going to hurt the aerodynamic load, it's going to hurt the handling and just the overall speed of the car. So Vexman on his merry way. A lot of traffic now, drivers leaving the pit lane. I say it's going to get fast and furious, and it certainly is. I think we've got Monster leaving the pits. He'll have to hurry round the track on his out lap to make it round in time. He's left it a little bit late, so hopefully Andrew will get a lap on the board. Vexman pushing on a little bit wide through 13, 14, nice and neat. Easy to run wide there. You just get used to carrying the speed to the previous two corners, and then a lot of the time you do have to back off a little bit, or maybe even change down a gear. We'll maybe see that during the race where drivers are doing that, and it's a little bit of improvement for Vexman. He's up to 11th. Liquid Gas has actually improved on his next lap. He's up to 3rd on a 22.4, so that shows how quick Innate and YNWA's laps were. Where is Andrew? He's going to struggle to get round, I think. Only got 30 seconds to go. It's going to be a tough one. Snake starts his lap. There's YNA, so he's on that lap. He's up on his first sector. Where is Innate? He's up even more on his first sector, 2/10 up, and he's further around the lap. Let's keep our eye on the Alpine. He was quick last week. What's it going to be in the second sector? Is he going to be another improvement? He is. He's nearly 4/10 up. This could be a seriously quick lap time to throw the gauntlet down and put the hammer down for the rest of the grid. Used quite a bit of his battery, but he's only got that little push to the line, using more of his overtake. He may get hampered on the run to the line, but it's nice and neat through the final corner, using the last of his battery. Not as effective when it's under 10%, but it is an improvement. A 21.4. What has YNWA got in response? He's also up nearly 4/10. He's going to have to be, but he's invalidated. He has invalidated. Wow. Innate could be on for pole position, but I tell you what, his teammate's on a lap as well. He's going to need a big improvement through this final sector if he's going to try and get up there with his teammate in the front row. Thomas has put up there into second, a 21.7. YNWA is going to be ruining that lap. But what can Snake do? 4th for him. That pushes Liquid Gas down to 5th, then down to Scots Warriors finish. Andrew, he'd invalidated his lap, so it's going to be 9th at best for him. Where's Brothers? He's finished his lap as well. So there we are, folks. Innate takes pole position by a comfortable 3.5 margin from Thomas, with YNWA in 3rd. OGK Snake Hips in 4th, with Liquid Gas, who qualified in a great lap time actually on the hard tyres. I think he may still get tyre choice. The softs are not a usual race tyre around here. They only last a couple of laps. So let's safety cars maybe will we see them? I'll be surprised if we see them on the grid. And we'll go through the rest of the standings very shortly indeed. And here we are. So in 8 takes pole with ahead of Thomas, YNWA, then Snake in 4th, Liquid Gas 5th, Abe on a debut in 6th, good lap time from them. And then 7th is Mike, good qualifying as well. Then 8th is Scott's Warrior, ahead of Andrew in 9th, ahead of the man he's been battling. Grimmo in 10th, Foxy in 11th, Vexman in 12th, Trem in 13th, Silent Hunter 14th, ahead of Brothers and Dirty Dubs, who didn't quite set a full lap time, I believe, on that qualifying session. So a couple of minutes where drivers are just setting their race strategies. And this is going to be one, like I say, 2-stop is usually the way around here, regardless. We may see a 3-stop. It's going to be interesting to see who's saved some tyres. Some drivers used a set of mediums there in qualifying. Is that the way to go? Who knows? Who knows? 29 laps around this circuit will only tell us all. But I mean, the Losail International Circuit, one of the newest tracks, of course, on the Formula 1 calendar. First up place in 2021, believe it or not. Missed out the next year due to the World Cup taking place, but then came back in 2023 and has a 10-year contract, so we're going to be racing here for some time to come. It's a 4th full night race that actually joined the Formula 1 calendar alongside Singapore, Bahrain and the Sakir circuit as well. So it's not a dusk to dark race such as Abu Dhabi. This is a full night race, so there is chance, well actually there is 0 chance of bright sunshine this evening, but the lights are on and the drivers are now just getting themselves ready. Good evening, Voxy, thank you for joining. Again, I'm used to using this on YouTube still because I always say like and subscribe, but I mean still subscribe to the channel, do follow the channel, but I don't know if you can actually like videos. I'm not sure how it works on Twitch still. I just press broadcast. What do I know? I'm just a humble commentator for you all week in, week out. So, early predictions. Oh, you can like the video. Thank you, Mr. Gold. Do appreciate that. I didn't know how you do that, but thank you. You know a little bit more than me, my friend. So hopefully you all keeping a bit cooler this evening and enjoyed some of the, I mean if you're in Britain of course, some of the gorgeous sunshine, the 30 odd degrees that we had over the weekend. Now just a little bit cooler, a few thunderstorms, especially if in the northeast of England. We had a little bit of a bit of thunder and some very mixed conditions today. Mike hates the car. You just know. That's it. And Mike, actually, that's a good point. This is equal performance this season. But there are differences. There are differences in the handling of the cars. I'm finding it as well, to be honest, because I've been Mercedes cars, Mercedes-powered cars, for about 4 years now. Yeah, I've now gone to the Scuderia, and I struggle a little bit with the overall handling. So I do appreciate that. I understand. So I understand exactly what you're saying there, Mike. So hopefully you'll get on top of it and just get used to it as the season progresses through different forms of practice. But now we're underway with the formation lap. Let's have a look at some of the tyres. So interesting, a few drivers there, look at that, have used the soft tyres. Well, I didn't think we'd use that, but most of the drivers are going with the hards. 4 drivers on the medium tyres, so a bit of a mix there in the grid. That's going to be really interesting, the opening couple of laps with Thomas, YNWA and JJ as well. So that's going to throw a lot of things in the mix as Innate's gone very wide and had a big moment. So that was a bit of a strange one, but cold, hard compound tyres, they can be very twitchy indeed. And looking at Thomas and that they're keeping everything, Dave just forgot to get off the line there. Hopefully he's back in his seat and we'll be able to take part in the race. We don't want any disqualifications, of course, this evening. But yeah, the soft tyre is just taking it easy. Well, Thomas is, YNWA and JJ, certainly not at this moment in time, just getting that last little bit of heat into the tyres. And like I say, it is the left-hand side, the front left's absolute killer around here because of this fast final section that we go through. And there's only 4 left-hand corners around here, so usually a bit of an offset in the tyre pressures we tend to see. But a little bit of carnage on this as drivers warm up. But there's the strategies. It does say here a one-stop hard to mediums. I mean, it is doable. I don't see why not. But personally, I'd probably just go with the two-stop. You can counter it because of the grip that you have with your tyres and the fresher compound tyres. But we're going to ride on board at the start here with the man in second place. And we'll ride back as a few drivers forgetting how to pit and park. Disadvantages we have now move cameras, but here we go. We can't see anything that's hide the UI, and we've got 5 red lights, and let's go racing. And it's a great start from the people on the soft compound tyres, and Thomas YNWA Snake already passed in 8 before we even get to the braking zone. But I tell you what, it's YNA on the outside into turn 1, but Thomas is there on the inside. YNWA goes wide on the outside and takes the lead. What a move that was around the outside, carried the speed. And of course, we see a lot of side-by-side racing through there. Liquid Gas, difficult start in 8, really difficult start. Down 5 positions already. Aim, good start as well. Up into 4th. Mike, what a monster start as well. Just complaining about his car, but it's working well on this start of this Grand Prix. But I tell you what, Snake's having a little look at Thomas on the inside of the hairpin. Rubbish camera angle. But Thomas just about holds on. This is all helping YNWA get away into the distance. This is not what Liquid Gas needs at all. He needs to close up and get onto the back and through the Alpine ahead of him, which is no mean feat, as we've seen a few times this season. Again, overtaking opportunities, few and far between. Grimmo and Andrew having another ding-dong battle. Expect to see that one go on for some time. But now they're just dropping just about a second now to the cars ahead of them, and that is going to be absolutely crucial when it comes to the DRS, which is going to be enabled at the end of this lap. But of course, only the one zone, which is down there. Oh, who was that that's pitted? Who was that that's pitted? Nate's pitted. Has he got damage? I'm sorry, I know we want to watch the going round, but that's unusual. He's on the hard tyres and is pitting already, though. Pole sitter. Has they got a front wing for him that don't? So just the hard tyres, not enjoying those at all. So that frees Liquid Gas up, but he's 1.3 up, but he's got hopefully a bit clear air for him. Snake all over the back of Thomas, who's all over the back. But anyway, he's going to have a look around turn 5. That was opportunistic to say the least. Thomas is going to try and find it into the hairpin. He's got the inside line. Leave room, boys. Leave room. Just Thomas did. Snake's through. He slid his way through court. Thomas napping. And now he's going to chase after the Haas. And these three on the soft tyres, starting to pull away from Aim and Mike, who now Liquid Gas has actually managed to close that gap just a little bit. So on the back of these three now as well. Of course, got difference of tyres. Aim's on the hards, mediums for Mike. So it's going to be interesting to see. But especially now, Aim should get them heated up quite nicely now. Going to be under a bit of pressure and losing time. Ooh, my God, the dirt, yeah, that got caught out quite a bit. But now this is where the soft tyres are just going to use their advantage now over the drivers and the rest of the field. What tyres has mediums fit in 8? And there we are. As Mike with the DRS first time out into turn 1. It is going to try. Sorry. Aim's going to try to hold it on the outside, and they're going to be close enough to turn 2. Late on the brakes, we've got the worst camera angle in the world. There's a grandstand in the way. Come on. But Mike just holds on and keeps 4th, but they have dropped even more time to the top 3 now. And Snake with DRS did actually overtake and takes the lead. But we'll focus on this battle, which was the worst camera angle known to mankind. I have never seen such a bad camera angle, I'll be perfectly honest. That was... I just gotta laugh at it. You really do. This allowed Scott's Warrior to close onto the back of these ones now, so this is a four-way battle. Grimmo not too far off, and this is where the difference in tyres is going to start coming into effect, especially these mediums and hard compound tyres now. It's going to be interesting to see how far the top three can take the soft tyres and how that goes on. A few drivers flirting with track limits a little bit here. I don't know if they get caught out. We saw it in qualifying, a few drivers that looked like they were going over the white line, or even on the white line, and they can call you for that and give you a warning or an invalidation in qualifying, but a few drivers getting away with it so far as Snake's gone defensive. Is YWA going to be close enough? He's not. Gained a couple of tenths by the end of the start-finish straight, but Abe and Liquid Gas now look at this into turn one. Liquid Gas going to try and go around the outside. Mercedes gives him a bit of a squeeze. What about turn two? Can't do it. Mike was caught because he did not have the DRS. And now two drivers on the hard tyres. Currently, they are now through. Let's see what their pace is now if the hard tyres are coming into their own, and when we'll see the softs start to fall away a little bit. Lap 4 of this race. Grimmo's got through on Foxy. Andrew very close quarters as well with Vexman, his former teammate, and Trem behind in the Ferrari. So battles up and down the field. Inators closing the gap to the back of the pack now on the fresh air and the medium tyres working well for him. It's a difficult start for him, having to pit at the end of lap 1 after a commanding pole position. This gap now hovering around the 2.5 second mark. So it's going to be interesting to see what Jack Aim start to do, because are they going to try and work together a little bit, not try and hold each other up, because they're going to go quite a bit longer into this race. Jack now using the DRS, gets the move done before the braking zone. Aim doesn't fight it, but makes Jack go a little bit wide, and they actually lost a bit of time down that start finish straight there, interestingly. With Jack having to make the overtake because the top three drivers all had DRS, and we've seen that Snake is quick in a straight line. He's strong in that last sector, just pulls a couple of tenths, which protects him down the start finish straight with the DRS from YWA. Thomas just sitting there at this moment. Just needs to save battery if he possibly can. But I tell you what, Liquid Gas has just taken 0.8 of a second out of these top three in the first sector. There they are in the background. So that gap now 2 seconds. So the grip, where it's needed, seems to be favouring the other cars now. The soft tyres coming to the end of their life, because Jack has taken a good chunk this lap, and he's bringing Aim, Mike, Scott's Warrior, and Grimmo's joining that fight as well. Only 1.2 seconds further back, so this is going to get interesting very soon, folks. And it is all about who can take these tyres just that little bit longer. YW goes a little bit wide. He's a little bit closer though this time. There's a DRS wide open to the back of the Alpine. He goes for the move and makes the move and gets it done before the braking zone. Nice easy as Thomas going to have a look as well. And the Alpine not quite close up. The Alpine goes a little bit wide though, a little bit deep into turn 1. Hangs on. Oh, loses that one position. A little bit of a wide through 2. YWA. Change the lead once again. This time Liquid Gas has taken more time. It's going to be interesting. Keep your eye on that time from 3rd to 4th. 1.5 seconds going into the first sector. And this is where those hard tyre grip is going to come useful. But now he's going to be in the dirty air as well. But you look at the time he's taken off. There, it just seems to be working so much better. Can get on the power so much more. He's now taken 7 tenths once again through this lap. Mike just dropped off a little bit, but Aim's going with Liquid Gas. So welcome new joiner, showing the pace that they have. If Liquid Gas can just have a monster last sector, I tell you what, he could be within DRS very soon. And he's just got it down under a second. He's going to want to really push on as well. Now, Velasco, Mike's got the 3-second one. We said that's easy to do. But now we've got the top 5 all within DRS because Liquid Gas and Aim have closed up. The hard tyres now are coming into their own. And look at this. This is where Snake is going to, I'm sure, make the move on YMCA for the lead once again, and certainly does. But Thomas not able to do anything about it this time. Aim just dropped off a little bit. Maybe had a really poor exit off the final corner. Just dropped to about a second. They've dropped Mike a little bit. He's had a moment somewhere. So those mediums may be cooking as well, just a little bit. Goes a little bit wide again. Doesn't want to be doing that too often. Let's get rid of that as well. Aim again, just those hard tyres because now Jack. Oh, Aim just cut the corner of turn 5 a little bit. 3-second penalty. Has closed the gap because look at this. Jack all over the back of Thomas. We've seen this battle many, many times, ladies and gents. Jack can just hold a tighter line through 10. That car just seems a lot more hooked up, just has a lot more confidence. And turning. Just seems to have that pace. Now this is going to be difficult now because Thomas is still within the DRS. It's going to be interesting to see what Jack's got in a straight line when he's going to try the move on the Ferrari and of course his championship rival last season. Jack currently 2 wins and a 2nd place to his name this season. I'll tell you what, Ames comes straight back fighting, and look at that, the top 2 dive into the pit at the end of lap 7. This could leave Thomas a bit vulnerable. There's a slipstream for Jack. Is he going to try it round the outside into turn 1? Has he got the grip? He's got the overspeed and sweeps into the lead of the race. Let's have a quick look at those tyres that the two gents. They're putting the hard tyres on as well, so it takes about 4 or 5 laps that we've seen for them to start working, but they'll go a bit longer into the race, and it is a long pit stop. Look at the time that they are losing. The gaps aren't really there at this moment, and he's actually gone through Brothers and Dirty Dubs as well, so he's back up to 14th, and is now actually with the 2 have just pitted, but of course pitting 7 laps ago, he's at a big disadvantage. It'll have to be a 3-stop for him. Jack Williams just sets the purple first sector as well, so the man is pushing hard, and I tell you what, he's going to be wanting Thomas to do him a little bit of a favour here through the course of this lap, because if Thomas can drop without outside that 1 second, this could hold Ames up a little bit. Mike with another 3 seconds. Oh, but he's not going for blackjack this week. But to have 6 seconds only on lap 8, I said earlier how tricky it is to just go that little bit wide, carry a little bit too much pace. But Jack now 1.4 seconds ahead. But I wonder if Thomas is going to pit this lap. He's not. He continues on. Interestingly, Trev now joins the fray. But Amy, I'm sure, goes to the outside. That's brave. There wasn't much of a gap, but just enough. And Liquid Gas has got 3 seconds. Right wide the exit at turn 1. So Jack now joins the penalty holders and aimed through as well on Thomas. This is surely time for him to pit. Grimmo, Mike's pitted. I wonder what happened there with Mike. I knew Grimmo was close to him and just dropped off the back. He's in a fight with Voxy. I've said that quite a few times as well. Those two have a history of fights and battles. Good ones though. But now, Ames closed that gap to Jack to just about a second, so Ames seems to have the overall pace right now. I'm sure there's going to be a few changes for the lead riders with a penalty. Now, I'm sure they're going to come thick and fast throughout the race this evening. But if you can join me in the chat, that would be fantastic. Who you keep an eye on with the times. Let's see who is pushing forwards. Ames sets the fastest lap of the race, has closed the gap to Jack. Don't know if they've got DRS though. May have done. The gap did close towards the end, but here's Grimmo on Scott's Warrior. Snake now joins and gets 3 seconds. So the other drivers who are battling for the lead now have 3-second penalties. So this is really going to play itself out towards the end of this race. It's going to be very interesting indeed. Boxy's got through on Monster with the DRS, both on hard tyres. But now then, when do people pit? When do the medium tyres start to go off a little bit? Thomas is still going, in fairness. So he's trying to something a little bit different. Maybe he's still trying to push the one stop. Or maybe just trying to use a couple of sets of mediums. We'll wait and see. I'm sure he used a set of mediums in qualifying. But if he's got another fresh set, that'd be interesting. Surely now, Snake and YNWA currently 10th and 11th after their pit stops. Let's have a look. Wrong one. There it is. Got 24 to 25 seconds. Long pit stop this one, as mentioned. It has been shortened. The entry was about here, where just before the final corner, so he took a completely different line. And personally, I didn't really like it. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I really didn't. And there, Thomas now does pit. End of lap 11. Good stint on those soft tyres. Now closing in. Once again on the leader. Let's have a look. So Thomas, Sandhunter 3 seconds. Thomas goes to the hard tyres as well. Where are Innate? They're coming into the final corner now, but if you look to the bottom right of your screen, the Ferrari is moving. The Ferrari is on his way, but he's not going to get out close to Snake at YNWA. Liquid Gas got another 3 seconds. That's 6 seconds to Jack. That's the first time he's ever done that. Trent battling and holding on worn medium tyres. YNWA sweeps on the outside of turn 2. Surely he's got the grip, and he does. Trem struggling at this moment in time. What can Snake do? Can he slide his way past it? He does on the run up. Oh, that's a big cut. That'll be a big warning for him. That will not help whatsoever. But Liquid Gas, 6 seconds of penalties. That is unheard of for Jack. Usually very clean man. Innate's got through as well, trying to follow his teammate now, and Thomas not far behind. So a lot fresher tyres though for Thomas. This could come. Oh, and Abe's got 6 as well. This is really spicing up already. I'm only on lap 11. Wow. So let's go back to the tyres, because those mediums, I mean, Grimmo, Scots Warrior, Innate did pit end of he's pitted, I think he pitted end of lap 1. 9 laps on the mediums. Interesting. Grimmo now pits. Snake gets 3 seconds. Voxy's retired. Voxy's retired. Where is that? I think that's... Oh, there. Wow, lost 3, and it's got a safety car. We have got a safety car. Where is Jack? They are through the safety car. So this could work out well for the people who have not pitted so far. This is not ideal for those who have just pitted. Innate takes the opportunity on his mediums to pit. Who else is going to pit? Oh, it's heartbreak for YNWA. Snake as well. He's now there in the mix ahead of Thomas. Wow. So that Thomas really losing out, pitting that one lap before. Oh, Voxy's controller turned it. That I've never heard your controller do that, mate. But that's really unlucky, buddy. Really, really unlucky. A few people pitting now, so we'll keep our eye. Oh no, so we want to be careful of the time deltas, because it can very quickly change around a track that's as fast as this. To go around one corner, that could really catch you out. So let's keep your eye on everybody going to the pits now, behind the safety car. Of course, it's not really helped the hard tyre when to stop. So the hard tyre runners having to pit probably a couple of laps earlier than what they would want to. But they're going to put the medium tyres on. It's going to be a couple of laps, it'll be 14 laps or so. That's going to be difficult, I think, for them. But YNWA is going to come back to third. There's Grimmo in all of this. He's coming down the start-finish straight. He'll gain a couple of positions back as well. We'll get past Andrew. Will they get past? Oh, they just got past Scots Warrior. That's heartbreak, honestly, when you're coming out the pit lane like that and you're racing on exit under safety car. It is not a nice feeling when someone just passes you like that. But so NWA, I'd say that'll just help them a little bit with the longevity of their tyres. But I think the drivers who started on the hards, they're now at a disadvantage. This is early for them that they would want to pit. They'd probably want to pit probably about lap 16, 17 maybe. Yeah, hard break for you, as Gold says to Voxy. Having a good race, battling with Mont. They're in the top 10. Well, come on, boys. What's your prediction? Give me back some feedback. Voxy, actually. Give me some feedback, my friend, of how the track feels to you. Is it a bit bumpy? Is it difficult on the tyre wear? Keep the tyre temperatures. A little bit of feedback, that would be great for all of you. Because then, of course, you have driven it. You'll know firsthand in battle of what it's actually like. Stand Hunters actually, and Dubs, they've gone on the soft tyres, interestingly. Bit of a difference in strategy there. So they'll have to pit again. But, to be fair, thinking about it, if they've got 2 sets of soft tyres left, they could use 2 sets of soft to the end and be quite quick. So that's going to be an interesting one, to see how those two come through. I think everybody's going to have to pit again. It's going to be interesting to see what YNWA, Dirty Dubs, Grand Safety Car managed to get 3 seconds. Yeah, Voxy right there. So he's mentioned the dirty air. For those who can't see the chat, Voxy said that he was on the hard tyres. The tyres were good, but the understeer behind another car really did hurt and makes you lose quite a bit of time. Why him and Monster lost so much time to the group ahead just because of that dirty air. And I mentioned it because it's so fast around here that it really can catch you out big time. Dubs and Silent Hunter not really making ways to catch the pack at this moment in time. So Voxy, Gold, Blood Diamond, if you're still there, boys, and the rest of you watching, let me hear your predictions. What do we think about how far the medium tyres will go? Can YNWA, can Snake, can they take those hard tyres now to the end? Are we going to see a little bit of drama? What about Grimmo, Thomas, Scott's Warrior? They've just pitted under this safety car. Well, Thomas still that before, unfortunately for him. It's cost him quite a lot of time. But what are they going to do now? They should really be able to go to the end, because they'll just be getting a little bit of heat in the tyres. They'll still be very cold, of course, but they'll warm up quickly enough and have the grip. I mean, the two, of course, in the lead, AIM and Liquid Gas, they'll have a better tyre warm up and be trying to pull the gap. But we saw in the early stages the mediums to start with for the first lap, 2 laps, were the better tyre, of course, through the extra grip and through the warm. But once the hard started to warm up, they really started to be probably the best race tyre, you would say. But this is just going to help those medium tyres go a bit longer. Be interested to see if the safety car comes in at the end of this lap. Some drivers weaving a bit down the stretch just to get a little bit of extra heat into the tyres, because of course safety car can't go at full racing speed, so it is quite slow through the middle part of the lap. So again, let me hear your predictions, even all 10 of you. Been a good race so far, some nice overtakes that we've seen. Unfortunately for Voxer, yet controller disconnected, end up in the barrier. And exit, the final corner, safety car has been called. And I think Tubbs and Silent Hunter will catch up towards the end of the lap. So safety car could be in at this one, and we'll have 14 racing laps. Should be okay for the hard tyre winners. Again, it's going to be nip and tuck to see what Liquid Gas and AIM can do. I'm sure they'll have another strategy. No, gold, of course you can. Come on, mate, I embarrass myself every single week. Usually 2 to 3 times a week on commentary that I do it, so come on, why not? You've got the tyres. We've seen, as YW just decides he's going to take a board out, but now the safety car is in this lap, so now Jack is the de facto safety car leader. Yeah, nobody on softs to go dead in 3 to 4. Yeah, we saw some of these taking about 7 laps. Thomas took them about 11 laps, which was incredible, to be fair. But now then, when does liquid gas decide to go? It's quite a long way down where the safety car comes into the pits. So Jack's got to time this one just nicely. Just getting that last little bit of feet into his tyres as he goes outside the final corner. Ames ready. Ames gone with. Ames saw it coming. YWA did as well. Got the slipstream, no DRS, but Ames is pushing the overtake, but Ames has got the slipstream. Now we've got the Haas on the slipstream. Is the Haas going to have a move instead? Ames has gone from attacking to defence. Goes a little bit wide, can't make it through on Jack. What about YWA? Don't forget the hard tyres. Ames holds on. Status quo as you were, but only just. He went from attacking. Jack pulled out the slipstream and just stalled without the drag reduction. Oh, Thomas now joins the 3-second club as well. YNW trying to take advantage, couldn't quite do it. And now, what about these two on the medium tyres? Don't forget, they've got 6 seconds of penalties to come at the end of this race. This is going to really throw it up in the air. Oh, we're going to see YMCA take his first win of the season. Grimmo in the mix as well. Don't forget, he has not got a penalty. Now the Scots Warrior, Moss is in there as well. He's on the mediums though, so he could be hampered as well towards the end. Such as his teammate and Aim as well. 44 must be a Lewis Hamilton fan, and I love the fact that number's 88. I really like that. That's pretty good going from Aim. 244s in the name, 88 on the car. They just pulled that 1 second gap to the hard tyre runners behind. Now DRS is enabled, but is Aim going to have a look into turn 1? Slipstream once again, just not quite brave enough to have a go, pushing the McLaren around turn 1. Yeah, you're right, Gold. I think you're kind of right with that one. Getting before the end, but we'll see what happens. Now, YNWA, because of Jack having to go a little bit defensive, Aim's a bit stuck, so it can only go at this moment in time. And YNWA is now starting to catch up. The heat will start to come to these hard tyres in 8 on the charge back through. Now back up into 10th. Don't forget, was the pole sitter this evening. So he is desperate to get some good points on the board to make up for the early stages of this race. Now Vexman, 3-second penalty. 5 drivers without one so far, and that's going to pay big dividends, I think, towards the end of this race. You can see a lot of changes here. Could affect the win, could affect all of the podium. Big points on offer, but Grimmo just dropped off the back of Snake at the moment, so he's going to be under pressure very, very shortly. There he is on the right hand side of your screen with Thomas there for company. There he is. Thomas has done a few laps on the hard tyres. He did a lap, so he's going to know about them, but he's going to have the DRS as well. So let's have a look. What's Aim going to do? DRS is wide open. Are we going to see a change of the lead? Aim takes hold of the lead for the first time. Ahead of Liquid Gas. Snake gets through on YNWA. Thomas gets through on Grimmo as well. Scott's probably not quite close enough. Then there's Mike. He is just there. An 3-second penalty. Another one to his name. Wants to look in racy as well. Medium tyres for him. But this is where Ames and Liquid Gas need to pull away as much as they possibly can, because those hard tyres for Snake and YNWA and Thomas now are really going to pull themselves back into the fray. We saw it around lap 6, didn't we? Where Jack and Aim were a bit further back, and the leaders are on the soft tyres and clawed their way back. But now we've got Grimmo on hard tyres. He's now getting the temperature into them. He's closed a little bit to the back. Michael, another 3-second warning as well. So there's a lot of places, a lot of racing still up for grabs as well, folks. Don't go anywhere this evening. And Grimmo and YNWA now have penalties. 2 drivers, Grimmo and Scott Warrior, the only 2 without penalties, gutting for Monster, but only 3. Let's go back to those because there's so many of them. Ames does set fastest lap of the race, but Jack with the DRS gets through. So Snake with 6. Grimmo still with 9, Mike's with 9. A lot of drivers on 3 seconds, but a lot of position changes as well with the DRS. Can't keep up with them all, I'm not going to lie. So Grimmo's just dropped off the back of Thomas. Didn't have a very good last sector there. But he could still gain some good positions if he keeps up the pace, and he's in the hard compound tyres, so he's on the favourable tyre now. That should go to the end. 10 more racing laps after this one. Silent Hunter's had a moment somewhere. No, he's just pitted, sorry. He's on the mediums. They should go to the end as well. Grimmo, look at that middle sector, just closes up because of the dirty air that they've got behind YNWA, and that's now that gap, the top 2, pulling away, which they need to do. Very important. Because those tyres will drop off in a couple of laps' time. And they'll be holding on, I think, for dear life when it comes to the end of this race, especially if they're in dirty air with one another and battling the way that they are. And this is great that Jack now has another challenger, the one he's not experienced before. Lost another 3 seconds. The penalties are coming thick and fast. Liquid Gas now sets the fast lap of the race, but I think Ames going to take over the lead. Certainly does. But then what is Snake going to do? He's going to pull to the inside, and he now retakes 3rd place for now. Mike pits once more. Difficult one for the Williams man, but definitely still some points out for grabs. So, got to keep going. Don't ever give in. Never know what's going to happen. So that's why we're just dropping off the back of these lot now. So, in 8, just sort of stuck as well behind Monster. Monster needs to get through as quickly as he can. Sort of Thomas, Rodney and Grimmo kind of in that DRS straight. They're sort of stuck now. A little bit behind YNWA and Snake, because that start finish rate, we've seen it quite a few times already now, that they're going to be about a second back at least from the leader, which is currently Snake, of that pack. The straight isn't long enough for them to get that. It's too long. If you can get through in about half a second, so that's why we only see the leader or the top 2 of a duel seem to swap places, while the rest behind can't do anything but try to keep up. Don't forget, Snake and YNWA and Thomas, especially Snake and YNWA and WA pits. Interesting. Let's keep an eye on those tyres. 12 laps he's done, Snake 13 laps, and the mediums are going to start running off as well. Are we going to see another flurry of pit stops, ladies and gents? Are we going to see something else? Another twist to the tail, mediums for YNWA. Probably not a bad call there. 9 laps to go. Now then, this could be interesting. Dre Jobs is still on the soft tyres, funny enough. That's pretty good going. X1 also pit, but YNWA's come out just behind Bradders. They'll have a lot more grip. Heat and those mediums will come very quickly indeed. But look at this monster. Scott Warrior nose to tail with an 8 as well. They're just losing time though. Monster just not quick enough down the start finish straight with the DRS to get through. I'll try to use the tyres, but they could be going off a little bit. So are we going to see Snake pit? What about Thomas? Grimmo, it's going to be a bit longer to take these tyres now, we think, especially when they're all in dirty air and they're all pushing each other extremely hard. What about the top 2? Are we going to see another pit stop? Oh, Monster got a little bit wide. That might have been a little warning for him. And he goes wide again. Doesn't want to get any more penalties. But there are many around him that do have time penalties. So, top 2 keep on going. What about Snake? No, those 3 keep going as well. Liquid Gas standard. What about Thomas? Is he going to be close enough? But Snake is seen. JJ is very quick in a straight line. He set that Alpine up very quickly indeed. But look at the closing speed of Thomas there. We had a little bit of a panic attack, I think, as he hit the brakes. Yeah, Aim is having a very good race. Mike, another 3 seconds. Aim's having a cracking race so far. And what's important as well is if these top two, they've got 6 seconds of penalties so far, with penalties behind them, they're creeping up to the 6 seconds ahead of Grimmo. So if they can keep this pace and pull a little bit more out, they could still take the top 2 steps here. But Grimmo's obviously want to do something about that. Once an 8, like I said, just a little bit stuck. I think we're going to see a little flurry of pit stops here, ladies and gents. Unless people just think it's not worth it. We saw wind up now up to 10th, but he has got 10 seconds to the back of Chemi. He's got a lot of ground to cover in the remaining laps. The yellow flag in sector 3, not sure what that was. Seems to be all clear on the map. Are we going to see that any of the top 2 pit? No, they're going to keep on going. Try and take their tyres as long as possible. Is Thomas going to be close enough once again? Like I say, Snake very slippery. Can they make it to the end? That is the question. That is a big, big question. It's a big unknown. We know all going up. Yeah, how many is you? Probably only 13. Can they make it to... It is a big unknown because the tyre wear, look at Snake, 15 laps. Grimmo's on the better tyres, but Scott's a bit better, but just dropping away half a second, at least a lap, to the guys ahead, to the top 5, and that gap at the top 2 are pulled to 5.5 seconds now, so it's going to be nip and tuck. We've still got 6 more laps. It'd be an impressive feat if they take the mediums that long. I think it'd be impressive for Snake as well if he manages to take the hard tyres that long. I mean, yes, of course, we had the safety car for a couple of laps, which will have helped, but an 8 makes a move on Andrew. Got the run out to turn 10. Oh, those mediums are going to start dropping off though, but the top 2 are pulled away. It's now 6 seconds, that gap, so the hard tyres for Snake, they're not working at this moment in time for him. And now Thomas and Grimmo just can't get through. Like I said, very, very difficult place to overtake here. My wage will be cut. I haven't even been paid yet, so hang on. I'm joking, my friend. Right, so Thomas now finally does make the move on. Snake was close enough down the start. Finish straight. That's why Blood Diamond is once it's following aim. But I tell you what, that's a heck of a move there. I think we gas through turn 3 into 4 and 5. Makes the move, get back past the Mercedes. Oh, that Mercedes looks very twitchy indeed. This is a strong result. Blood Diamond's going to be a very happy man on holiday. I hope he got the sangria out. But Thomas has got through and they've taken a second now out of the top 2. Is this crossover time? Is this now where those mediums are starting to cry for mercy? What can an 8 do as well once he gets clear air? He's got a bit slightly worn tyres as well. No, Boxer, you'll get there sorted, my friend. You'll get them sorted. Maybe try an update on them. Look them in, try an update on the console. See if that'll work. Alright, so Snake, 3 seconds. Let's go back to those penalties. Look at this now. So Thomas is going to try and get within 3 seconds. I think he's got the pace now to do that over the top 2. They're still continuing once again. Down the start, finish straight, they go. And now, of course, everyone's just trying to eke these tyres to the end. And this is interesting because Snake with 9 seconds, this is going to hurt him massively. But it's going to help Grimmo if he can stick with him. Oh, look at Snake in a turn 1, late move on the inside. Thomas gave him room just at the last second, saw him coming. And 8 now through on Scott's Warrior. He's got 6 seconds though, so still only Grimmo on Scott's Warrior without penalties even, which is commendable. I probably have jinxed him, I'm not going to lie. So 4.9 seconds, the gap. This is key. Thomas could steal a win here if he keeps going at this pace. And if those medium tyres for the top 2 start to drop within the next 4 laps, anything can happen. We are getting close as well, ladies and gents, to the window where the safety car doesn't come out if there is an incident. Bear that in mind, because we could see a big fight towards the end of this race, and it's all about that tyre preservation. Now Snake, I tell you what, Snake now just outside that 1 second window. I think the DRS line is just before the final corner. Now then, what can Grimmo do? Has Grimmo got the speed in a straight line? Good exit from Snake. As Aim, what happened to Aim? Oh, pits! Aim pits! Couple laps to the end. Wow. Okay. Is it going to be the soft tyres? It is, but this is going to put her in 8th. Is it going to put her in 8th? Because we've got Tremor wanting to break, steaming down the start-finish straight. That's going to be very close indeed. They're going to pinch it. So down in 10th now for Aim. Has this just helped Liquid Gas to manage it towards the end? Looking at the penalties around, it's going to be tough. Grimmo there. This is so close. Grimmo could steal the win if he has the pace. This has turned it on its head. Thomas is closing. He needs 3 seconds to Liquid Gas. Don't forget, is the difference in the penalties. Snake has 9 seconds. But above that, if Grimmo could stay within 3 seconds of Thomas, 6 seconds of Liquid Gas, Grimmo at this moment in time could take the win. 3 more laps to go after this one. Tyres are screaming. They were managing the best they possibly can. The mediums, I think, are gone for Liquid Gas. The gap is coming down. Monster gets another 3 seconds for his problems. He is there in 7th, and he's got YWA a little bit further back. So that could be an interesting one. Monster could be okay for that. It's been a moment. I think that I'm not sure that was actually. But here we go. So Grimmo now, is he going to try and make the move on Snake? He does. So now Grimmo up into 3rd on merit. He's got no time penalties. What can he do? Look at the tyres, ladies and gents. Look at the tyres. Liquid Gas will be something if he can take these to the end and salvage what he can. I don't think Liquid Gas will be too upset if Grimmo takes the win. Silent Hunter 3 seconds as well. There's going to be a lot of penalties to decipher and work our way through towards the end. I hope I get the final standings. It worked last week, but we'll see. Ames another 3 seconds. Oh, Ames! It's going so well. Now 9 seconds for the debutant. But we're keeping our eye on Grimmo. There's a penalty situation, folks. I'm going to go at the bottom to the leader here because look at this. Grimmo's only 3.7 off the leader. Tell you what. This is getting a bit close. Scott's Warrior's going to gain a few places as well at the minute. Dirty Dub's got 10 seconds. How do you manage that? Oh, I think he went way off track. Dirty Dubs. Only in 15th. I think a lap down. But still got to finish. And he will get some points. I tell you what, 2 more laps to go. Thomas is looking to take this one on track. Mike Taylor's now on 15. 2 more of those. You will get blackjack. Grimmo pushing on. Thomas as well. Oh, Ames again. Another. That's 12 seconds. Oh, it's been in the pit lane. Oh, retired. Oh, Ames. Oh, that's heartbreak. First race. Chance of the win. And ends in disaster. Oh, that's heartbreak. Hopefully we'll see you next week because what a commendable effort that was this evening. Absolutely commendable. Fantastic speed. Really look forward to seeing you back on track. But look at this battle. Now then, Thomas doesn't have to do this. Thomas doesn't, he wants it on track, doesn't he? Jack holding on. He's got 1 more lap to go after this one. Grimmo needs to pull it in. He's just dropped a little bit. Let's go back to the intervals. He needs to get there. He's in the dirty air though. Is he going to hope that Jack has enough pace to hold up Thomas? Hope that Thomas doesn't get through too quickly. Oh, Thomas goes very wide. Look at this. 13 and 14. Thomas is really pushing on Jack. He's not got the pace. He's trying to go around the outside at 15. I've never seen an overtake there before, and he backs out to get the DRS. That's allowed Grimmo to close right in. Look at this. Final lap. Top 3. Nose to tail. Grimmo's just holding back. He doesn't need to do it. Thomas is going to try and do it on track. Thomas goes through and takes the lead at the start of the final lap. Grimmo goes through as well. I think Jack just went, yep, okay, lads. I see what you're doing here. Jack just trying to do his own thing, trying not to lose as much pace as possible. He's going to be close to Scott's Warrior the way this is going, actually. But with the penalties, Jack could still get the podium this evening. Taking those medium tyres a very long way. There's the tyres, there we are. 16 laps, that's incredible. So did Monster as well. Monster may lose to YNWA though. On penalty, will still be 8th for the other McLaren. But Thomas, he's had a bit of a battle. Starts on the soft tyres. And went to the hards just a lap before the safety car and has taken the hard tyres a very long way indeed. Commendable race from Thomas. But is it going to be enough? Has Grimmo got the pace in the final 2 corners? Has he got it? Thomas is pushing on, using every bit of his battery that's left. Thomas is going to come on the final corner and take it on track. But the man who's going to take the win is the Williams man. It's going to be Grimmo takes the win this evening. Thomas in second. Liquid Gas will take the final podium spot in third. Innate will take fourth. He won't. Scott's Warrior takes fourth. What a race from Scott's Warrior. Innate will take fifth. YNWA in sixth. Snake in seventh. Andrew will cross the line in eighth. This is going to take some sorting out because Trem will take ninth. After a few penalties. There it is. And then I think Vexman will probably binge Mike as well. Yes, he does. So Vexman takes 10th. Michael B in 11th. Then we've got Silent Hunter coming across the line. In a 12th place. Finish for him. Brothers will be in 13th. And Dirty Dubs, there he is, a lap down, will be in 14th. But what a final end to that race. Wow, what a race. Grimmo takes the win. He'll be ecstatic with that one. I think that'll be a popular win as well. Thomas takes it on track though. Had to do it the hard way. But he managed it at the end. And confirmation of the driver of the day. After the podium celebrations. And there we go, look at that Grimmo. Top step for the Williams. That's going to boost his championship no end. So close there in the midfield. Thomas will be happy with second. Liquid Gas just holding on. I think he's going to be relieved, I think more than anything, to take that third place and keep his podium streak of the season. Two first, a second and a third for the McLaren and the championship leader. Well, let's see. Driver of the day is Grimmo. I think we can all agree on that one, can't we? Fastest lap to YNWA with the most overtakes, cleanest driver and the race winner, and driver of the day for Grimmo. Well deserved. So here are the provisional standings. Grimmo with the win and driver of the day, well deserved, from 10th on the grid. Thomas in second, Liquid Gas in third. Scott's Warrior, fantastic race. Failed Divines takes fourth. Innate in fifth. YNWA 6th. Snake in 7th. Then Andrew Mond in 8th. 9th is Trem, and the top 10 rounded out by Vexman. Mike, difficult day for him, but he will take solace that he scored good points in 11th. Silent Hunter ahead of his teammate, double points there. Good points for the Kick Saubers in 12th and 13th. 30 Dubs in 14th. Unlucky for aim at the end. Really pushed on. Had a fantastic debut in 15th with Voxy as well. DNF'd in 16th. Wow. It is unanimous across the board there for Grimmo to be driver of the day, and I don't think anyone can deny that one, can you? What a race he's had there, and I think he's going to be pinching himself a little bit. Wow. Well, ladies and gents, what can we say about that one? What a race that has turned out to be this evening. Fast and furious under the lights in Qatar. Well, I think we're going to need about a 7-day rest before we go again next week. It has been an absolute pleasure this evening, as it always is. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to all our drivers. Congratulations to the top 3. Thanks everybody, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Have a good one. Good night.